What up, y'all? It's Razi of Three Brothers No Sense. Of course, always like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. But right now, just check out this nice clip from Three Brothers No Sense. You know, we talked about Pop the Balloon and how they put the raisins in a potato salad. And this next one is I'm scared as well. They've ordered a Different World pilot. And what's weird about this is only Netflix's second pilot ever. Usually they just go ahead and order a whole season. And I'm really worried that they're gonna make this pilot and not pick it up because either it's not good enough or they feel it's not good enough or it doesn't resonate with people. They don't market it so people don't watch it or whatever it is going to be. Really worried about that. But so I want to ask you guys, does it make sense for Netflix to get a pilot for a Different World? And are you excited? Do you really want to see a new Different World?
I guess for me, I would love to know what angle they're coming from because the original Different World was able to be introduced to us by piggybacking off the Cosby Show, and so you followed Denise into her college world, and then you got to learn the other characters, and I almost said introduce HBCUs, but it helped popularize uh, attending HBCUs. But I think a lot of people also fell in love with the love story of the on again, off again, Dwayne, Whitley, his friend Ron, and Freddie, and all of them, and just their on again, off again love story. So, are they doing it like Bel Air, where they're gonna just cast?
No, it's gonna follow Dwayne and Whitley's daughter, I think, going to college. She's going to Hillman. So you'll have kind of a little bit of continuity, right?
Okay.
You'll see Dwayne and Whitley every once in a while popping in.
He was a professor. Remember, he was a professor there. So
yeah, so he may still be, or maybe a dean at this point, or something like that. Where he's a show like on the show the whole time. So that could be dope.
I'm open to it, man. I'm open to it because Lord knows I love Bel Air and the reboot. So I'm open to it. I think part of your questions too was should they do more than a pilot? I definitely think it should have gotten a whole season, but hopefully that works out, man. But I'm interested in it.
Did they explain why they only doing a pilot?
Nope. They it was either it's Debbie Allen wanted too much for a season. She's executive producing it, so she was the executive producer for the original. So Debbie Allen is executive producing this as well. So I think it's going to stay true to what Different World is and was and all of that. I'm just worried that Netflix they're putting it as a pilot just to say, we're testing it. We tried, but no, it's not there.
But if that's the case, it makes no sense to even do it. Like, if they would have never brought it up, we would have never missed it, right? This conversation is moot. I don't know. The only reason I can see it making sense is our because it depends on who the audience is, right? If they're catering it to, especially since they're trying to have continuity from the original show, is it for us, right? Is it for the late 30s, 40s, Gen X, Gen Y people, right?
Yeah.
Our thing is, when we heard about Bel Air, when we heard about certain things, the first thing we say is, man, they should have left that alone. They should. Oh man, they don't. I'm tired of the remakes. It was just a better. And so it's, hey, y'all tell me, should I have left it alone? Because right now we're in this world where everything's being remade, and there's a lot of backlash coming with remakes. So let's see how you feel about this. If you show and the support and the rewatches go through, and because even though I love that show, one of my favorite shows growing up, and I love the concept, I'm nervous on how they're going to portray it in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to be?
I hope it doesn't become grownish like that. That's my worry. Is Like I didn't really like Grownish because of
They
it
just turned Zoe into a
too,
freaking idiot.
yeah.
Like it was no accountability. There was no excellence. Like she was such an excellent student, right? She was such an excellent kid, and all of a sudden you get to college, and the thing about uh the different world, they showed black excellence. They kept it, lighthearted because it was Cosby, but they hit on some real subjects. They hit on some real things. And how do they do that today? Like, is their daughter going to come with lace front and freaking baby hairs and eyelashes? Like, is that the version of her you want to see, or is she going to be this natural person, or what is it? Whatever it's going to be, and she's introduced to this world with people doing certain things, and her best friend might be the hood chick. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to hit or miss with us, right? The idea of it sounds great, but there's a good chance we're like, oh, I hate where this is going. This is blackish all over.
Yeah.
How do you appeal to our generation versus, hey, we're barking up the wrong tree. You guys don't want this.
Have they done another show like this where they just did the pilot?
He said, they said one more show, or this is the
one
first
other
time?
show. I don't know what the other one was, but this is only their second pilot ever that they've ordered. And it may be because you remember Bel Air was greenlit after
The song.
the song.
Video.
No, not the video. Yeah, it was just like a YouTube video. Like they did a fan fiction remake, and then it caught on and it caught fire. And so maybe that's what they're trying to do, is kind of that same where we know we're probably going to do a season, but we're going to film this pilot and we're going to drop that and see, to your point, Buff, like the reaction, right? Does it hit home? Is people talking about arts? People talking about it? I hope they have the chick with the lace front and the baby hair. I hope that, because
that's their daughter.
no, not as their daughter. I'm just saying. I hope she is a Whitley clone or a little bit of Dwayne Whitley mix, right? Where Dwayne brought a little bit of that hood, and so maybe she is the normal kind of run of the mill kid. But I want that. Like Grownish didn't have that. Grownish didn't have the just like real ghetto chick. Like the closest they had, I think, was Chloe and Halle, that were from the hood supposedly, and everything in Grownish, but they still weren't like really hood. Right, they and that's a Kenya Burris thing anyway. He really does show. He tries to show black excellence from a like positive lens instead of just kind of showing some negativity to it. Even in Grownish, right? The mom and the dad, they were supposed to be kind of your hood old black people, but they still weren't like hood. And so I think I want to see that. I want to see, because I mean, Ferg, you went to a HBCU, right? Like you get the gambit at an HBCU. You're gonna have that dude that's selling drugs, right there in the. It happens.
They weren't selling drugs.
Somebody was selling drugs. Like let's be honest.
Well, maybe they got kicked out, and then like I knew it was selling drugs, and they lasted a season, a semester. And it's like we see enough of that. Like, why do we have to? We got every show with young black people. You see the same thing. So why do it again when you have the one show where you can sit down with the young kids and show black excellence? Now you got to show this. You want the drug dealer stuff, but
let them wash out in the first season, right? Or the first semester, right? Like show them and show what happens to them, right? Like those are real life situations. You talked about A Different World showed all these different things, right? They talked about rape, they talked about date rape, they talked about being racism and everything, right? Like what was it? Ron and got his car broken into, and they thought that he had stolen it or whatever. Like there's all that's going on, and I want to see that, right? I want to see the drug dealer along with that's went to HBCU because he's actually from Tallahassee, and so he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to fam. He got in because he actually was pretty smart, but he just this hood Florida dude, and he sell drugs, right? Like he got all the connects because he's from local Tallahassee. Like I want to see that dude in there too, and what happens, and maybe we can have a story arc around him, like either getting caught and them saying, hey, you got to stop, and maybe saving him or whatever. Like that's a storyline right there. But I want to see that. I want to see all of that because it happens in real life. And that's I think the problem with Grownish, and that's a problem with some of these that are happening right now, is some of these shows just don't bring it in. Like they say, okay, I only want to show this positive stuff, and then it starts feeling fake.
Maybe that's the reason the show won't work because we want to see two different things.
I think you can have both in the within the show.
I think you can if they do it. If they do it, let's look at Bel Air, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only drug dealer is a white dude, right?
Yeah.
You're like it's we're but why isn't Carlton a drug dealer? Why does it have to be a black drug dealer? Like to me, Bel Air did it really well where they showed some problems, but they're not making black people the problem. Like we don't always have to be the problem. We can have a show where hell, the Cosby Show was fake, a lawyer and a doctor, but it gave people aspirations to do stuff. Like we're so used to seeing us, like every black show you show is the same thing.
Well, Bel Air has several black characters that are the problem.
Right.
Carlton uses drugs.
Will has anger issues. He flies off the
dad.
handle.
Will's dad.
Yep, in his later season, but they kind of started creating more drama, and that was what season. We're in season 3 or 4 now.
3 now.
Well, Carlton's drug problem was season 1.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, and
again, this is a HBCU. It could be that the white kid is the drug dealer, right? I don't care, but I mean, like I'm thinking a damn near 70, 80, 90% black cast. There's gonna be a drug dealer in there somewhere. Like they're gonna get drugs, right? And then how do you kind of tell that story about somebody getting drunk or getting high, and maybe there's a date rape episode that somebody got high, right? Or like those are things that happened in a different world, and like I don't want to whitewash over that. I don't want to just ignore that and just be like, oh well, everything's hunky dory. Like there's gonna be issues, and so there probably is gonna be characters that have to bring that drama and bring those issues, and they're probably gonna be black if you're showing an HBCU.
Okay, we don't want to see the same show.
This is why it's not gonna work. They're gonna do the pilot. Half of the folks are gonna be like, it's too over the top and too nice.
But just like he brushed over the negative black characters of Bel Air, like you can highlight the black excellence so much that the character that Razi wants to see, that's not even the first, second, third, or fourth thing you think about when you think about the show. But you can still have it in there to have that realism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not saying make them a primary character, right? Like, but you never know. I mean, they might be like that. Hey, we formed the circle. We're in the class.
We'll see what they do.
I'm excited for it though. I really think it's gonna be good though. So we'll see. And again, it's Debbie Allen executive producing it. I really do think she has a good vision for it. My fear is that she's still trapped in the Cosby era. And it doesn't resonate with kids these days. And it feels
but the thing about it is, it for kids? So that's a question. Like, who are they making it for? Are they making a show for us, or are they making it for kids?
I think they're making a family show, right? So it's something that tugs on us from a nostalgia point, but the kids are going to sit down and watch it too, so the family can talk about it. That was the beauty of A Different World, right? It was like our parents were watching it with us. It wasn't just us watching it. And so I think that's what they should be, or trying to be make, is something that can bridge that gap.
When is this supposed to air? You know,
they just announced the pilot, so I would assume maybe 6 months, 8 months from now, right? They gotta like get the cast together, film it, edit it, and everything like that. So we'll see.
I mean, I'm excited to talk about it when it drops. I can't wait.
Yep.
We got time to slide one more.